Welcome, welcome, welcome. BitmonkeyTV episode. Who is that? A little choppy there. All right, I hope not. Welcome to episode number 38, BitmonkeyTV. So there's a lot going on today. I'm gonna go actually and cut over to another stream in the community at the VFriends Twitch. So thanks for tuning in. Today is Whimsical Wing It Wednesday. So we're just gonna go ahead and piggyback off another stream because I do want to watch it, and it's very valuable. Very valuable information. So let's go tune in.
It's concerned, as early as we all are, I'm late in the early comers. It was probably February, March when my business partner, Andy, he may jump on. I know he's watching us either way, but he was kind of, like, hey, you should really be looking into Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum. Look at these currencies. And a lot like Gary talks about, if anybody here is a Gary fan, which I'm assuming you are.
Yeah.
Currency didn't do a whole lot for me. I'm not I'd rather invest in myself or in the things that I'm doing rather than a company or a currency. So, but I started doing the digging. That's when I broke open Ethereum, started paying attention to OpenSea. Right about that time is when Gary started. I'd been consuming a good amount of his content to and from work. And around that time, that's when he started hinting and talking about NFTs as a whole. And I was just like, man, as a cannabis brand, it would be awesome to be and I have to give another big, thankful to Gary V and the community, because I jumped in the NFT Code Talk channel there, and I let people know what I wanted to do. I just wanted to kind of speak it into existence. I got hit up by a good number of people and talked to as many people as I could as far as learning their skill level. They knew what we were looking for. Had this kind of dream project that is Phantom Unearthed now that I've been able to lay out and make come true. But it's really thanks to that, because we came in contact with Zay.Codes. Jump on our team on Phantom Unearthed, Amit, Bilal, man, Pratik. Those guys saved us. They're partners with us in this project, and they make it all possible. And it's funny, it just all started from VFriends, like I was saying, and that you can get to whether or not you're a holder. I happen to be a holder. I've got 4 VFriends myself that I'm so fortunate, as I'm watching and learning about NFTs. And that was my first project I actually bought into. That's when I started getting it, really, really getting it from an investment and collectible standpoint. As well as the utility and access, which we try to take an aspect of each of that. Phantom Unearthed, although a cannabis-related NFT project, you can see the feelings and inner workings of a VFriends type backing. We have access tokens. We are doing a convention that's going to be wrapped around NFTs and cannabis. Bring both, marry those things together. 2 awesome communities and industry and people that I think belong together. It's like-minded people that are willing to take a leap. So it seems to be a fit, and that's where we dive into, both locally and, across the states and beyond. We really want to touch everybody and give everybody as much value as we can.
Wow. I have so many questions. That's amazing. So
Thank you.
I'm kind of curious, just to give people some context, because obviously you had the resources of the Coder Talk channel. And to reiterate it, that's completely free. You don't have to be a VFriend token holder. Those resources are available. But you happen to find somebody in there that believed in your vision and helped you build this. So I'd love if you could give us an idea of timeline. Like you were aware of NFTs before VFriends.
Yes.
You saw VFriends in May, and then things started to click more as the launch happened. So let's call it like the month of May. This idea is gestating. When do you go into Coder Talk and find this person who can help you? And how long did it take to communicate your message into actual? Because I can see your website. It looks like you're ready for launch.
We're pretty dang ready. I have some bad news to report today, which we can talk about. But we're getting trouble from Stripe, which we can talk about flow and those inner workings, because we're using a different blockchain.
See, I think all that is such huge value. I don't know how much, if you paid or if you gave equity to your coder, but like I'm getting a lot of.
They're partners with us, man. We're in this together.
That's great. That's really
that was important to me for whoever we brought in. Is, I come from a spot like in the cannabis industry. I have to know everything that I'm doing within that, right? Like we grow, I had to learn and figure out and master growing, concentrate, same thing. Like even if you're going to hire somebody for it, I want to understand it. So they put a lot of faith in me and I put a lot of faith in them, because coding is not my claim to fame. Like I make sure that I understand everything that they're talking about so that I can share the message and that I can get the right information out to people that are interested. But do I speak that language? There's no way, but to get back to the time frame of that.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was probably March when I was actively looking, like, at first you're listening to NFT stuff and you're like, oh, this sounds so easy. And you're like, maybe I can just like, it's just a plug and play, like everything in the world is now, right? Like I should just be able to slap one of them babies on, hook it up to OpenSea. It's no thing, and I'm
where's the drag and drop function?
Right. And this is, probably about the time that Gary's talking about, like, if you were to write a book and having a gold token and you know what I mean, like the way to like utilize this, and I'm like, God, this is amazing. Like, I would love to be this. And then we dropped off for a minute. Business is business. Things pick up. Working on different things, still consuming, learning in the evenings, nights, obsessing, and then VeeFriends hit, and that's when I was like, okay, first off, Gary doesn't ask for a buy often, so I knew it was I had to get in. Like it didn't. Luckily, I had done enough to like start the Ethereum, get Coinbase, MetaMask, and be digging into OpenSea, so I kind of understood. Grabbed in on that. It was still that was really what dug me in, of like, we could do this. Like we really could do this, guys. Like let's look a little deeper. Then my next one was Gutter Cat Gang. Honestly, that was the next one. I was like, okay, right after VeeFriends. I like these one of ones. It's around something we were talking about doing, because we have the 140 strains in our I-502 clone house, like maybe doing more strain related. And I was like, I just felt like the Phantom is what made us special. It's more legitimate.
It's more of an IP.
Exactly. It's an intellectual property play instead of a check out a plant that somebody else bred. If we had bred it ourselves, or if we were the breeders of that, I could definitely see that. But that's when we really got the idea of Phantom. Right around that time, it had to have been late May, early June. That's when I'm digging in. We could probably search it in the Discord if we wanted to.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
And really get a date on that. But that's when I started reaching out. And then I talked to the guys, and Amit was the first to really respond. And I was digging through with a couple other people, but he saw it and he was like, man, this is a cool project. Like I would really love to be a part of this. And that's when I knew, like, okay, you want to be a part of it. That's telling me the right things, like I want you to buy in on this. I want us to be a partnership. I want to be able to bring value to you, because they're going to have a bright future, whether or not, whatever happens to my project. Right. But if I can give them that extra push, that's something special. That's what we want to do. They're the ones that talked us into going with Flow.
So great. Flow blockchain.
So we can touch on that a little bit.
Oh, I'm very excited to learn about that.
Yeah. Ethereum, anybody that has a VeeFriend or has looked into it probably has learned a little bit about a MetaMask or non-custodial wallet, OpenSea, Ethereum, gas. Flow takes a lot of that out. And they're the new kids on the block. They're brand new. They are also the ones that brought NBA Top Shot. That is their project, right? Like that's how Flow is relevant already, because I think they launched in 2020. So they had the proof first, and now they're working on everything else, right? They're rolling out everything else as we speak. I don't even think it's tradable here yet in the US, which is unfortunate. I think it'll be worth it once it gets there. But it's so smooth. It's still decentralized. You like, I have a video on the Discord if anybody wants to join up on the Discord and just see how easy it can be, or it is. It's It just takes, we can take credit debit card, which helps when you're bringing people in onboarding from another area.
Yes.
Which we're cannabis related. So we're bringing people in. We're doing claim codes on some of our packaging so people can actually get a free NFT if they buy our product. That's given back to our customers that have already supported us. So I think that that's really important.
That's cool.
Likewise, the pricing for our product is very similar to a concentrate. So our cores are $40. Accesses are a little bit more at $300. But it lets people a low cost of entry. That's 0.011 ETH and like 0.07 ETH for an access token, which you compare to some of these others, they get spendy. You know, it lets people get in on this and be a part of it. And it's just it's more consumer centric. Flow is very just simplified. It's like, it's no different than if you were to jump on Amazon and check out. You know, it can go that quick. It allows us to take credit debit as well as we can take Ethereum, Bitcoin, so that we have options. Trying to give the best of both.
And how much front end coding did that require, or does Flow provide you some kind of interface?
They do have some, but I mean, Zay.codes, like so we use Stripe and Coinbase Commerce. I won't go too deep into it.
Yeah, I'm trying to join your Discord right now to share it. Oh, I have an invite link, but I can't see any of the channel.
Select a role in there.
But I don't have the roles channel.
Did your pop-up come up to give you a to make sure you're
Carlbot?
Yep.
Yep. Do I have to say?
So I'm gonna switch gears real quick. I see there's one viewer in here. Thanks for tuning in. I mean, do you enjoy watching that other stream, or do you? Hey, 2 viewers. What is cracking? Yeah, I was just kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone, getting some work done on the side and watching the other live stream in the community held by the VFriends. If you go to twitch.tv/VFriends, you can watch that. Now, do you guys see this delay that I see? Or is it just me? But yeah, I wanted to switch gears and talk about Meta Heroes. They just announced something pretty fucking dope. Switch on over. Oh, so I am actually watching for a certain token ID, so maybe you guys watch me get it. Let's see, I wanted to get 3077. And for those who don't know, we're 10 away. We are 10 away. Son of a bitch. All right. For those who don't know, let's pop it up. So Meta Hero Universe today announced that they're going to be airdropping sidekicks, 2 mint passes, 1 for each Meta Hero and 1 for each Meta Hero Planetary DAO token. The only way to get that free Planetary DAO token is to mint your Meta Hero before the end of this deadline, I think at the end of the week on Saturday. So, but let's run through it. Where was it? It's insane. It's insane. It's so dope. Come on. So now I'm kind of wanting to mint another one. I wasn't going to. But it still fits with my strategy. I don't mind kind of taking one off if I get this number here. So this is just me checking the contract address, and then I go to the hero token, and this lets me know real time what token ID there is. You know, the most recent transaction on this this token ID. It shows from the black hole, you know, for minting. It minted this token ID of 3067, and we can always just go here because they don't always load on OpenSea right away. Usually takes a minute, but let's see what they got. Damn, that's a pretty sweet one. Look at that. Pretty sweet. But yeah, I'm gonna cut it back over to the stream because I do want to try to snag that token. So, but shoot a message in the chat if you guys want to jam. We can talk NFT news. I do have some announcements that we dropped in the Discord, and we're working on one final one. The third one of the day, so we'll be dropping that right after I end this stream. But hey, 3 viewers, shout out.
I think Ethereum is probably going to be the giant that remains, that people are kind of expecting right now, but it's all about the interoperability, right? Like it's all about them working together and solving problems that the main chain can't handle, and you know, serving the needs of the market.
And they're working on it. I have there's no doubt in my mind that Ethereum will be around and that it will fix that. I just think that much like, you know, Amazon, eBay, there's other options, right? It's not going to be a one claim to fame. And I think Flow is going to surprise a lot of people once it comes out.
Oh, wow. You're launching tomorrow.
So
but
should we jump right into it?
I mean, yeah, we can jump around.
So,
Stripe
is giving us issues with the type of business that we are. So we will be pushing that back a little bit. We have to rework taking fiat because of the type of business that we're connected to. Even though we're not selling a cannabis related product, it's cannabis related. And Stripe gave me an email at midnight last night, and I've been going back and forth appealing this, but they just came down right before this AMA here today with you and gave me the no-go. So we're exploring other options. You know, my devs are awesome. They've got some backup plans in place, but it might push us out as far as 2 to 3 weeks.
Well, that's life.
Amen.
And like another important lesson, like the reason I asked you about timeline in the first place is because, and are you applying for the PLP with this project?
I already did. I already did. So we'll see what happens. Just, you know, no spoilers. I haven't heard anything back yet.
Yeah.
So, you know, if I do,
they're constantly receiving and sifting through them.
They've got to be inundated, man. I was thinking, you know, the NFT space is so loud now. It's so loud and it happens so quickly that
the reason I wanted to ask about timing is because I think it's easy to maybe think it's easier than it looks as it's easy just by how many projects are coming out. But like, I think having a 3-week delay because of a payment processing thing is probably a very normal hurdle. You know?
I mean, we've already pushed back once at least.
Yeah, I'm working on an NFT project that I've pushed back 3 times and currently is like dead in the water. Like I'll get back to it, but like it's totally at the end of my priority list. Right. Because I'm like doing this, you know?
Right. No, I love what you do, man. Hey, you got a lot going on. I don't know how you keep up with it. And that's coming from a business owner that's also trying to run this project.
Yeah.
Discord. And I think you give me a run for my money on busyness. So
well, thanks. I appreciate that.
I appreciate that. And if there's anything that I can do or, you know, along with my developers to help you out with that, hit us up. They're literally the best guys in the world. I would be nowhere without them. So
yeah, I mean, my situation, like anybody's, it's unique, you know. Like the reason I've never said my project's dead in the water before, but I say that now because I was working with a dev for like a month and then he ghosted me, and so suddenly I was like back to square one when I was like, I felt like I was on the edge of announcing a date.
Right.
Then and then I got with another dev, but then things started to pick up again, and then I had to travel. I had to travel home, So now all these things are happening.
Yeah.
And it's just, again, it's like, I would love to be able to like make something awesome for the community. And like, I have a lot of ideas. And I think that is, and hopefully this is valuable for someone. Like the decision-making process gets can be very complicated when you don't know necessarily how to speak to a developer,
right?
While you're still learning what's possible.
Yes.
And if you're not entirely concretely sure what you want, all of that extends your launch date like weeks and weeks at a time. And that's where I found myself in. Like, as soon as I started to learn more, I had a new idea that was better and also took 3 times as long to create.
Right. Oh yeah, the NFT space, and I'm sure you can speak to this, and probably a lot of viewers, like the rapid pace that it moves is unreal. Like a week feels like 3 months with what changes and what's new. And so our project, although I had a very, very good idea in mind of what I wanted to do, I had a target, and that was with the claim codes, using the phantoms, IP play, long term, everything had to be made with the decision of get people here and worry about everything later, right? Like,
build the community
build
first.
value, build community, and then the rest will fall into place. And we just kind of had this idea, but the things that we've changed along the way, or the benefits that we wanted to give, or what we felt made us unique, has changed incrementally. And then like the things that you're like, man, this should be easy. Like, let's just talk about all these projects that come out with 10,000 one-of-ones, and you're like, oh, these are all the same thing. And our project is 7,100 phantoms, right?
Yeah.
Traits. Those are all hand-created traits. Those are all hand-created phantoms.
Yeah.
We manually placed everything to about halfway till we figured out that there's a way to do that without doing it. So I won't even talk to you about how many hours we burned, just to get this project.
But burned learning, like
burned and learned. Yep. Burned and learned.
That's a good one. That's also a great little catchphrase for a cannabis business. Burn and learn. That should be like your school.
Or
the slogan for your school. Burn and learn.
I hope you're recording this, man. We need to definitely.
The whole thing's recorded. You can have it. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. But yeah, man. I mean, it's been a whirlwind.
So let's go to a question, because I think and please, if you have questions in the comments, like that's what this time is for. Yeah. This might be easy or difficult to answer, but what's one thing that you thought would be hard that was actually easier, and one thing that you thought would be easy that was actually a lot harder?
Well, I think I answered that with the art. Like, I really thought that the art, like, I already knew what I wanted it to look like. I wouldn't consider myself an artist, but I do, like, I had a feel of what I wanted it to look like.
Yeah. You were ready to creative direct.
I was like, I had these kind of drawings and thoughts and ideas in mind, and I'm lucky enough that my father-in-law is our head artist. He's extremely great digital art, and so that was what I thought would be easy. And figuring out how to make it work and seamless and clean was an unreal trick to begin with. Still was, even when you figure out that it doesn't have to be manually placed, everything that doesn't get you out of the water. There's so many little intricacies and what goes where, and what, anybody that does digital art, like, your placement as far as which plane it goes on and where it belongs, that was much more difficult than what I thought it would be. It took a lot longer than what I thought. Something that went easy. God, is there a thing? Well, I would say it's been easy for me to keep, I'd say a couple of things, to keep the end goal in mind. Like, when your mission is very tight, every decision you make gets doubled back to that. And so it's easier to make those tough decisions.
And what is that in a sentence? Like, I know you want to give back to your customers and you want to like create this new level of access, but when you're going back to that, what's that mission statement? What's that like North Star?
I mean, for us, it's pretty multifaceted, but what I kept telling myself, or what I kept asking when it came to making decisions,
crossroads,
is just can somebody get long-term value out of this project more than myself? You know, like,
Yeah, great.
can I give something back that other projects can't? And those things helped get to the end product of where we are at now. To give some examples of that at a price point, you know, I think especially in the early days when we thought we were going to jump out in July, you know, with this project, it was like everybody was asking any price that they wanted to. And right from the beginning, I was like, no, no, no. Like, we want this to be easy, you know, easier cost of entry. I won't say it's cheap, but we talk about in comparison. And that means that we have to build for the future for this to be profitable for us.
Yes.
You know, doing the conventions, doing one-on-ones, doing smoke sessions, doing merch drops that make people a brand ambassador for you is worth it. It's costly, and it's going to happen even if we don't sell out. Like, this very well may be a slow burn. You know, we're bringing on a lot of new people in a very loud space now, and I just want everybody to know that at the end of the day, I will blood, sweat, cry to make sure that this project is worth it to people that join us, that follow us, that buy into it, because we're doing it for the right reasons. We're doing it for the long haul. The intellectual property play, you hear it all the time from Gary Vee. Like, that's more exciting to me than anything else. It's just making this phantom right here, this silly little guy, means something in some way, and that could be, I mentioned this, you know, licensed on a piece of cannabis hardware. It could just be the brand in itself. You know, in a way, when you're buying into this, you're in a way you're buying into our company, similar to a stock. You can't say a stock, and it's not like you actually have equity within it. But if we play this right, then the brand grows and you grow along with it, right? And that's why the other thing that isn't spelled out on the website, but one thing that we're doing is every token holder gets a vote for actual brand related things.
Help us really? Trains. Yeah. So it's a little bit of a DAO in that sense.
A little bit of a DAO in that sense is it gives you, when we have a new product line, new strains that we are thinking about, we want to bring that to our followers, to our community, to our token holders, and say, what do you think will better this project? Because at the end of the day, we're all in it for the right reasons. If we're growing this business right, you're winning. If you give us the right information of what you think would do well, it's listening to your core customer. It's just taking it a step further, you know? So it's a win-win, and that's what we're trying to set up.
That was a fantastic answer. I can't wait for you to clip that, because that's so exciting to hear. I mean, like, obviously these are words, like execution is the game, but like I vibe with you. I'm excited. I was going to say that's a great transition to like going to the website, because I was peeking around. I think we can go sort of like talk through it to help us understand. But I want to ask you a tough question first, because this is the thing that I keep wondering when I'm seeing DAOs pop up that are mostly off chain, right? Like, you're going to be having this voting system. I imagine it's going to be done through a members only Discord channel or something. You know, you'll like have a bit of a pitch deck for something you want to do with the brand. You'll give people notice. You'll show them what you want, and then you'll allow them to vote. Have you given thought to what happens when you know something's right for the business, but the community votes the other way?
So I'll answer that in two ways. Number one, if there's something that I know that I'm bringing that I already know, that's a loss. You know, I shouldn't be looking to the community to do my job as an operator. I'll be upfront and honest about that. You know, it's my job to make sure that regardless of how the NFT project does and the community and everything beyond that, that the cannabis brand and Phantom pushes and the IP moves and does well. With that being said, I think that the types of things that we want to bring to the community are the things that they're going to be right before I'm right, because they are who we're selling to, you know, and even if they're not in our state currently, they are giving us a lot of good information. You know, maybe what happens in California hasn't hit yet in Washington, or maybe we have somebody that has a token in Israel that has an idea. I think it's worth their vote. I think it's worth listening to it because it usually does translate, you know. Look at social media. It's a little bit different in a lot of places. Even in the US is broken up into very, you know, different thoughts and ideas. My God honest feeling though is taking all of those and getting a vote out of that works really well. And if it doesn't land, you know, I'm going to be upfront and honest with the results, and maybe on the next vote that's going to change the way that we go.
Yeah.
That's the way that I view it, and that is very similar in how you were saying that we plan on making that vote happen via Discord or maybe whatever the Discord is of that time, but making sure that everybody gets a chance to be heard, be seen.
Yeah, we don't need to go off on a tangent on like how a DAO is best operated, but that is the conversation I keep having with myself when I'm not trying to build a DAO for me, but I'm involved in 2 or 3 now, but I'm not really active. Like I am basically tacitly voting however the majority votes. And when I consider the value of it, I love it because it's like it's just giving power to the people in a way, you know, and also
DAOs like a true DAO in my mind is a little ways out of being completely decentralized. The law's written to where they're fully neutral.
Actually provable.
That's
on
hard
chain.
to do because a developer, whether they want to or not, has a bias. And we can go deep into DAOs. I don't know. You know,
no, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to go there, but it's just such
to
a
go into that at all.
topic.
I'll be completely honest. I know of them. I get kind of how they work, and we have an aspect of that. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, that's exactly it. Is I'm not promising a DAO. I am promising that a token holder, when we have a business decision that we want to make that we think will impact the brand and that we see could really use a community's point of view, you guys are the ones. You know, like I want nothing more than to get your guys' vote and use that because it's gonna do well. It's gonna hit because it's already hit. It's already hit in our fans.
Love it. Well, let's just start at the top and look at your website because it looks great.
All right. Thank you.
So just tell me about this art piece. I feel like there's a lot of little Easter eggs in here. This is your Phantom. I can see that.
Yes. So,
what else? What are these Easter eggs? Where are we?
Man, you're quick. You're quick. I haven't mentioned this. This will probably end up being one of our first contests. There are some traits that are kind of layered throughout here. It has a little bit of our comic lore as well. So there is a full-fledged story that's already written in regards to this. There's some beautiful comic book illustrators that helped us with this as well. And yeah, there's some pieces, some traits, some things that will align to people's NFTs. When we scroll down a little bit and see some of them, you're already getting an idea of what there is and getting a count of those and getting that back. That'll probably be one of our first contests. So if you guys are watching and you plan on joining the Discord, do a little studying on there.
So the merciless king of realm 710 has stripped the Phantom of his true existence and identity. All that is remaining for Phantom are these 7,100 remnants that show 80 different traits that may lead the Phantom to who Phantom really is. The question is, are these clues? Is this a puzzle that could reveal what isn't remembered? Or is this just a decoy that has been left behind by the king? We must unearth the truth. This is a first of its kind full cannabis related NFT collection that gives you value and access. Phantom Unearthed Collection Club, is a collection of 7,100 Phantom NFTs that live on the Flow blockchain. Each Phantom NFT is a unique piece of art that was designed by our team. The NFT collection is a rarity scale based collection with a cannabis twist. Along with being a unique collectible, each Phantom grants the owner access to the club, access to the Realm 710, and gives unique member-only benefits. This NFT project is tied to the 710 Phantom Cannabis brand, so along with NFT-related benefits, owners will also receive real-life cannabis-related benefits. Love it.
Thank you, man.
Cool.
Thank you. Yeah, that the there, that's a little play at all these collection names that come out. I wanted to poke a little fun while giving a little homage to them. So
yeah, that's fun.
Yep. So you see here, these getting a little slideshow or a little gif of a few of
Yeah,
our
I like this
trades.
top hat that goes out of the window.
Yeah,
It's fun. So the core tokens. So these are the ones that are like $100.
They're only
$40.
Yeah, they're only $40, and this is core benefits are what every Phantom holder is going to get.
Okay. So let's walk through it. So ownership of the art, great. Does that mean derivative rights to the art?
Not derivative rights. I mean, we're an IP play here, so we keep the commercial rights to it, but you get the art and the NFT.
Great. Access to the club and the members only channels, which is Discord and whatever that becomes.
You got it.
Virtual edition of the comic that is already in production. Is that going to be, this comic, are you going to mint it? Is it going to be a secondary airdrop?
Yep, potentially an airdrop. You got it.
Potentially an airdrop. Love. Early release drop info for both NFT and our brand's cannabis products.
Intro. I will promise on the comic really quick, there will be no cost incurred for getting it though. You've already paid for it in being a Phantom holder, so it'll be an airdrop or it'll be brought directly to you. There will be no other minting costs.
Which is another great factor of using Flow blockchain is it's going to be cost effective for you to send that.
It is, yeah. And that said, a little bit of my play for PLP here as well is that the risk is so little. A lot of these like airdrops and free NFTs aren't near as exciting as what they once were that long ago. Like 2 months ago, a month ago. There's just so many of them that you honestly have to think like, is it worth my $80 in gas to put this on and hope that it hits one day? And so, that's my little play for PLP is there's really no risk for VFriends holders if this hits them, or if you guys end up picking up the gas fee there's nothing. It's $40 is $40 if you get an access token to be a part of the access.
That's awesome.
Things there's no additional cost.
So beyond that, we have intro to NFTs and tech. So I imagine that looks like resources in the Discord about just like engaging in this world, which most of your customers are not aware of. Continued benefits and offerings as the community and value grows. And as our cannabis brand and NFT project grows the Phantom IP, as an owner of our first NFT release, this should add value to your token. Which, it's so funny. I read a sentence like this and with all due respect, it sounds like it's not saying anything, because like if I didn't know VFriends, I'd be like, what does that mean?
Right.
But that is like actually one of the biggest things on this list. Like by buying this NFT and like, this is not financial advice. I'm learning about this project in real time. Like I'm endorsing this person and therefore I would endorse this project, but like, this is not financial advice. Do your own research. I would buy this because I'm enjoying this conversation, not because I want to make $1 million on it. But I
wish I could promise you guys that.
That would be amazing.
That's my play. But yes.
But if you look into Chase and you look into 710 Phantom and you believe that business has the potential to grow, then that is where the value of this sentence comes in. That the profile of the brand, if this 710 Phantom cannabis brand can become, I don't know, like the supreme of cannabis, then you having their first NFT is going to be a huge value play. Like I know that I'm kind of preaching to the choir because VFriends understand this value proposition.
No, I appreciate though for other listeners or when we clip this, that's absolutely right. A lot of people don't understand that. If you listen to Gary Vee, you do understand that. Even then, it's easy to say. Making that happen is much more difficult, but that's the big thing is we already have a business that's it's already married to it. We've already put our name on this NFT. It's stamped. If we don't perform, it's going to hurt. If we don't perform for NFT customers, it hurts our cannabis brand. If we don't perform for our cannabis brand, it hurts our NFT community. And that IP play, and I really need to get in there and also add in the fact that you get a vote in where it goes, because you have a little bit more control than the standard IP play. And the cannabis brand definitely as it grows, but there's other things that we can do with this Phantom, because we do own rights to the Phantom. We own rights to, the name for the comic, the digital art, as well as the logo, the look. So those things are things that we can play with and do other things with. And I think VeeFriends followers and or holders definitely understand that. But I just want to, I can't stress it enough. You're right. That's what we're after. That's the long-term love. That's the diamond hands. That's the hodl, right there is what we want.
Yeah, and that's the other benefit of running a community-driven project. And I feel like more and more projects are figuring this out, that if you sell your project at a low price point and just build a real community where you're supporting a product or service that has actual long-term legs, then you don't need to make bank on the sale of the NFT. You just win on the secondary sales, and then you just put that back into the project.
That's exactly right, man. And that's going to be a long burn for us too, right? Like I said, we have to build our own secondary marketplace, which could probably, stifle that a little bit, but it's going to come around, and I'm sure of it. And by that time, I'm hoping that people see enough value. Maybe the first convention has happened and they're like, wow, like these guys didn't cheap out on it, and that's really it. That's really what I want to show. That's what I want to prove. And that way people are taking it and giving it a second look, because there's so many projects out there to look at now. Yeah. I try and do it in my nighttime, moments when I'm not dealing with the business and building out and the collection and outreach and support. But yeah, it's
well, and the other thing that's cool about this, that like I want to get to the access tokens. Yeah. But I want to make it clear to people that, like, I'm not trying to shill you this project. I'm giving Chase a platform to promote his project. And I love, like, one of my favorite things in the world is people who are passionate about their shit. But one thing that I'm just liking about it, and why I'm pretty much planning to buy it when it's out, so not financial advice, I'm just telling you what I'm doing, is because you have a fiat gateway for $40 for a core token. Like, $40 isn't something that should just be like thrown around randomly. Like, $40 matters to me. But when I'm spending more than $40 on gas for anything at all, like, this feels like a really great play, because I know I'm investing in a jockey, I'm investing in a person on top of the business. I love that. I really love that you've kept this core token so cheap. Like, absolutely. like not everybody can afford $40, but like, if you ask me for $40 versus 0.01 ETH, it's a lot easier for me to pay you $40. Right. You know what I mean? Yep. So like, I'm really liking that aspect, and I think it's very thoughtful.
Thank you. No, that's what it's all about. Like I said, our customers that are already customers of ours, of our cannabis products, that's about the cost, between $40 to $60 for one of our grams of concentrates. And they get to get that free NFT. We felt that it was only fair that it goes the other way. Unfortunately, we don't get to send out a cannabis product in this this project just yet. Maybe years to come, borders drop and federal legalization happens, and now we can play that game a little bit and enjoy those benefits that could come. But I feel like it's only fair. We want to get.
Are you thinking about doing added benefits for people in Washington, like to be able to get?
I mean, we will. I want to get on both sides. So we're touting definitely our uniqueness in what we are, especially with the Access Phantoms, and we're bringing people the opportunity to come here and be a part of that. And not everybody will be able to do that. We understand that
exactly,
which is totally understandable. But we also are looking deeply into the metaverse and the things that we can do. And the convention right now, this first one's probably going to be in Washington, but we'd like to move around. There's other states that have smoke-friendly places that are cannabis-friendly. More and more legalization is happening. And right now we're in Washington state. That's not to say, that we won't be in other states here to come, even before federal legalization, if we play our cards right.
Sure.
So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things to think about here and dig into, but we definitely are going to take care of our current customers. There's no doubt about it. They're supporting us as a brand before we had anything in a digital space to offer.
Right.
But I want it to be 100% understandable that anybody that's already in the NFT space or that is not in Washington, they are going to see the perks tenfold as well. Metaverse, digitally, we are investing in a lot of different spaces and things that we can do and give value, and also, get your commitment, get your involvement into something that matters. Like I mentioned that we have 140 different strains and we do pheno hunts, and maybe we get to name a new strain, and then if that ends up becoming something big, seeds are sold everywhere. That's a little different now. It gets across in other ways. So there's a lot of different things that we can do and play with, and without spoiling anything in particular that we're playing with in our heads.
For sure.
I I promise you, whether or not you're in Washington State, it'll be worth it. It'll absolutely be worth it, because we're gonna make it worth it. And we're dealing with, as a cannabis company, you can't market. I even on our NFT, like I try and put out an ad on Instagram, and that gets taken down immediately. We can't ship. We can't. There's a lot of things we can't do, but think of that from your investment standpoint. If we are a company that's doing fairly decent at the moment with all of these things in place that don't allow us to do anything, imagine when those things get stripped back. We are able to do advertisement. We are able to market. We can ship to different states, maybe eventually import, export. Those things happen. I think that's why people are excited to invest in cannabis anyway. Cannabis investment can be scary. I think not every cannabis owner or company
knows.
It's
still early for cannabis.
Even the big ones, like, it's fresh. The market is so underdeveloped. I won't lie to you about it. It's not easy, but
yes,
it'll come. And we're gonna do our damnedest to make sure that we're around and people know about us.
Yeah. I want to quickly answer. I hear a beeping. I think it's probably on my end.
I think it's me. I think it's my Discord over here.
Yeah, I keep having that with Discord. I want to quickly answer David's questions. He came in a little late. So, how long has this project been alive from conception to now? I believe it was conceived just before May, and then in late May, early June, after getting into VFriends, Chase connected in the Coder Talk channel with their developer, and they were developing and thought they were going to be ready to launch in mid-July, but it got delayed until now, and they were going to launch tomorrow until there was a payment processing issue that will kind of push it to mid-late September. But so that's like,
you got it. Yep.
That's like 4 months from concept.
You got it. From starting developing, it's probably been 3 months.
Yeah.
And we were in the hope of 5 weeks. So.
Yeah. Well, all good things take time.
Amen.
And that kind of answers your next question. So Chase found a developer. What was their name again?
Zay.codes, if you want to check them out. They're partners in our project, but I know they do other contract writing. Can't say enough good things about them. They know all blockchains, but I will tell you that we've been extremely happy with Flow and the work on Flow. It's been awesome.
Cool.
I'll let you know though after the release.
Yeah, we'll have you back. So awesome. Let's talk about the Access Phantom. So this is very interesting. So like half of them are a pass to the convention, and then 90 of them are a pass forever to the convention.
You got it.
And then more and more and more merch giveaways, in-person sessions in Chicago, or I'm sorry, in Washington, or maybe somewhere else. 30-minute Zoom sessions, and in-person tours and demos, and then social media shout out. So these are randomly minted, right? So people won't be able to say like they want the lifetime pass and mint it.
Right. Unlike VFriends, those you're putting in for an access token.
Yeah, right up here.
You got it, and then it'll randomly be given to you. And at the very least, you're getting a one-time pass to our convention that will be well worth $300. I promise you that. Not to mention all the other things that you get along with this, and you're getting a rarer Phantom if you're in on rarity tools, traits, those types of things. So digitally you get something out of it, and then there's some other things that you can luck out and get, and it's just completely randomized. Everything about it, I don't even know the order at all. I'm gonna purchase a couple myself just to have some in the pocket. So
right, go long on yourself. So just so people are aware, like this is how the art will look. Trofig's a fan. So like I just saw the gold hat pop up here. You know, if you got that hat, that you got that perk. It's sort of a little bit like World of Women in that way, where they had like based on different skin colors and different earrings and necklaces, you got different curators club, royalty club. And I see, and this is just like this is like a 101. Like buy it, then it'll be minted, then you can view it, and then it'll be revealed. Okay, got it.
You got it. You got it. So, you know, obviously we're onboarding people that know a lot about NFTs and some that probably know absolutely nothing. So this is just as simple as it gets. You select it, you mint it, which means you purchase it, and it applies to the blockchain, gets sent to your wallet. Then it's in My Phantoms up top, which will carry your wallet and will speak to our website. So it pulls those phantoms in and you can actually view them. The reveal will happen either after sellout and or 5 days after we get that secondary marketplace up. Secondary marketplace probably at this juncture will be ready at the time of drop because it's being worked on as we speak.
Nice.
Depending on how this all shakes out with the payment, I don't know how much back end work we're going to have to do, but I know that we are working on getting the secondary marketplace ready as fast as we can. We plan 2 weeks after drop, but
so the secondary marketplace is going to be here on your Phantom Unearthed website.
You got it.
Cool.
Yep, you'll be able to list, trade, buy, also save on those fees from OpenSea that you get. Yeah. So it'll be beneficial to do it on our end anyway.
Great. So you've got like 1,000 tokens being given away.
You got it.
This looks great, man. I like.
Thank you.
It looks like this took 3 or 4 months. Honestly, it looks like it took longer.
A lot of late nights, man. A lot of late nights. I won't lie.
Do you want to share any of this stuff? Should we go through this one by one?
Go for it, man. Yeah. I mean, it kind of just reiterates a lot of the benefits that you get, but let's do it.
Yeah, let's go. The number one focus of the Phantom Unearthed Collection Club is the long-term value of this project for our supporters, tied to our cannabis brand business. So it's important that we grow them both exponentially and for the long game. Being the first of its kind NFT plus cannabis collection, we are a historic project and plan to leave our mark. We want to build the most kick-ass cannabis meets NFT community this world will see. 2 dope industries that have the best people in it. Marrying these 2 awesome spaces is a no-brainer and will bring value to anyone that joins. Have you looked at the what is that project? The Cannabis Heads or something?
Crypto Cannabis Club.
Crypto Cannabis Club. Is that the one with the guy with the really long face?
Yep.
Yeah. So are they not actually tied to a cannabis business? They're just
I mean the CCC isn't a cannabis brand. It's not a cannabis name. It's not necessarily, as you can tell, an intellectual property play or built out for that or that way. With that being said, I have looked into it. I'm a fan of them, actually. I think what they're doing is cool. They have some gamification that they're working on the back end of that.
Cool.
So I mad respect to them. They are definitely a cannabis project. They actually launched they beat us to the punch. I really wanted to get out before any other cannabis project, like Full Collection did.
Yeah.
They did and got out there, which props to them. But it's definitely different. It's not a brand. It's not. That's our uniqueness, right? Like
it's always fun to be first, but in the end, it doesn't really matter. Like it is fun. It can give you a leg up. Like it's the same for me. Like I was the first VFriends fan page, but that doesn't mean that somebody can't come in and do better than me and
right.
You know, take the top spot.
I mean, I don't think that's gonna happen, but
it's not gonna happen. It really could. Like
it is. That's true. Like let's say you got a little too busy with that NFT project that's on that back burner and somebody turned it up. I could see it, but otherwise, man, this community is awesome. I want to be a VFriend community. The VFriend community is where it's at. So big props to you, man.
It's fun to say that because like literally if a fan page pops up, it's on my radar within 24 hours.
Right.
You almost can't start a VFriends fan page without following me first. Like they'll either follow me and that's how I'll find out about them, or I'll see them using hashtags.
Yep.
And the vibe of VFriends and Gary V is also great that like I want VFriends News to win. Like,
Right.
I would love to see them become bigger than us, and
Right.
like I will just funnel content to them
That's what I
because
was gonna say. The cool thing about that is it probably blend, right? Like
yeah,
you
it's
guys
a
are gonna
win-win situation.
play off each other at that point.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like that's not like that camaraderie, and like we've been trying to like have a conversation for weeks of like, hey, how can we coordinate some stuff? That still hasn't happened, and yet there's so much camaraderie. Like I tag them in every story I post. It's like
That's cool.
and I would love to see somebody new with like new fire for
I
VFriends
just
come into the
got it.
space, because then I'd be like, great, like come on the show, like let's
Right.
pump your followers, like let's go. That was a little off
With you on that. We're big collab people ourselves, man. Both in our cannabis business and hopefully our
That's
NFT business. It's inclusion, the right people that are doing it for the right reasons should always come together.
Agreed.
Did
Our
I just
cannabis
get it?
business
Did I just
grows
get
and
it?
our NFT collection gets stronger.
got
Our
it.
OG community will continue to receive
So,
perks, members only
damn, I'm shocked.
benefits, being the first in the know for
wanna know.
drops of both NFT and cannabis products, receiving limit release products digitally and physically, all the way up to cannabis convention ticket, or getting access to a smoke sesh with the Nug Butter creator himself. We want your NFT to be a ticket to something you like and want, which is why we built it this way. Have full ownership of your Phantom collectible. This is a rarity scale-based project that gives every owner a one-of-one digital collectible that has a different unique trait and combination. Should give every owner the opportunity to build equity in their art piece, buy, sell, trade, hopefully ultimately profit. Not to mention, we worked hard on these Phantoms and think they're pretty damn fresh. And Flow blockchain. At the time of this drop, Ethereum has been king of the NFT space. While we are lovers of the Ethereum blockchain, we have chosen the Flow blockchain for our collection and community. The Flow blockchain cleans up gas issues, allows easy USD payments, and has a great customer service experience. We also believe that the project will be even more historically relevant being on the Flow blockchain, because at this point, it is new and undervalued. That's very cool. And I kind of want to shift as we're wrapping up. I was expecting Sam Blade to join us around this time, so I'm going to message them really quick. And while I do, I would love to hear more about the convention. I can imagine that it's still maybe ephemeral. It's like in the ether. There's a lot of ideas.
It's in the infancy, but I have a pretty good idea, you know.
Oh, great. Sam just jumped on. Perfect. Hey,
Awesome.
Sam. Welcome. I'll bring you up in just a minute.
The convention, we want it to be NFT meets cannabis, just like our project, you know. We have connections within this industry that we're already in within the cannabis industry of really interesting, cool things, you know, head shops, retailers, bud tenders, interesting products other than ourselves. Like I said, partnerships, collabs, different brands. We hope to have the same thing in the NFT side, just really awesome projects that we buy into or that buy into us that want to be a part of it. So that's it in a nutshell there. We want to also have a pretty exciting musical guest there, some keynote speakers within both industries, and really just merge and mesh the two awesome industries. I mean, I really feel like it can be something special. They blend so well to one another, the standard like stereotypical person from each, right? Like if you guys probably noticed looking at different collections, like most collections are very 420 friendly. So it just makes a lot of sense to have these two together, and those that aren't already in the NFT space. Like, man, I preach about this on my off time all the time. Like I'm trying to get people involved in it. I'm like, there's a coolness factor. There's community to be had there. Here, there's also money to be made here if you do enough homework and just obsess over it. Like, there's so much opportunity.
The obsession is required. Like,
absolutely.
If you want to make money, the obsession is required.
Yeah.
You can get lucky, but like, if anybody's trying to make 24, 72-hour profits, like, the obsession is required.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, exactly. Or even a long-term profit has to have a good educated guess at the very least, right? Like, but it takes a lot of that, and we want to see that happen. You know, I think you and I can agree that no matter what, this is definitely the future. NFTs are the future. Cannabis legalization is down the road. Like both these things are happening, And NFTs, maybe they won't be called NFTs. You know, who knows what it will be down the road, but the technology, the collectible, the artwork, those things are never going away, and the blockchain is making sure of it, right? Like it's going to be here to stay, and the utilization of it is only going to grow. And that's the part that really excites me. Like I can't wait until, you know, silly things like, hey, everybody that has a phantom with you know, a blunt in his mouth gets a free joint sent out to you guys, just because you're holding right now. Like that would be so awesome and fun to do. Not right now, we can't, but we can do similar things to that. You know, maybe we start doing a retailer tour, or, you know, maybe similar to Gutter Cats, they're doing a convention in Las Vegas. Like we can gather, we can congregate, we can be a community together anywhere, digitally or physically. So it's just awesome. You know, similar to Gary's restaurant, you know, the NFT access to a restaurant. There's so much utilization that can happen here, so much access and fun that can happen. And we want to bring, you know, you see kind of our, what they call the roadmap. We didn't quite put it down that way because they're more just promises. You know, this is what we know we're going to do, but we want to add to that. And as you and I have kind of talked, it's evolved even since the beginning. You know, those members channels, they're going to have how-tos for NFTs. They're going to have how-tos for growing. They're going to have, you know, votes. It's just, we want to continue to add value to token holders so that they're happy to be a part of it, and they want to keep collecting, and they go up in value, which only of course helps us, and ultimately hopefully helps them. And it's a perfect play. We're all partners in this together.
That's
So I wanted to switch over. I wasn't expecting to stream that for so long, but I really fell in love with that project. So if you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. I did drop some notes here in the chat. Let's scroll back up. So you go phantomunearthed.com, and then the Discord link, discord.gg/5, lowercase n is in Nancy, E is in eel, 5, C is in cat, capital R is in Ralph, lowercase a is in apple, and then lowercase b is in boy. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Who's all here? I see it's Gary. Anybody else? Do you guys want to see something specific? I know today was a whimsical wing it. I was multitasking on the side, keeping an eye on the Meta Hero token ID, trying to snag 3077, which I did, and I haven't checked yet, but if you guys want to check together, we can kind of reveal whatever that was, if it's refreshed yet. But I was also finishing the third announcement of the day for Monkey Bites, which is this creative that's going to show exactly what positions we're looking for. And I really loved that I watched through that episode and joined that Discord, because I'm going to be reaching out to Chase here by the end of the day to talk to him, to pick his brain, to spend whether it's an hour with him to see, because it sounded like his developers aren't his, right? So if he's that happy with those developers and they're an independent team that we can outsource to, I wouldn't be opposed to that. You know what I mean? So I'm going to pick his brain, and that's, I'm so happy we watched that, and I'm shocked. Yeah. So this is so cool. Let's switch it on over. Let's go to shit. What is it? What do you think? Is it going to be a mutant? All right. I'm just going to go to the number. What do we think it's going to be? Okay. I'm not mad at this. I'm not mad at this at all. The origin, meh. You know what I mean? But it's like an X-ray. That's pretty dope. So I'm not even a human. I'm an X-ray base. Classy hair. I was hoping for the dreadlocks. So I don't know if you noticed, but I'm pretty sure I was aiming for this number, but there was a wave of them that came. I missed it. Look at this. Was it this one? I was aiming for 299. Yeah, the dreadlocks. I really want some dreadlocks. It's pissing me off. But you know what? I'm honestly much happier with this, because I didn't have this origin, so now I get some of these tokens for free, or at least one token for free, and I know it's more of a commodity, or less of a commodity, right? If I'm using that correctly, because there's so many from this origin. Is that the most? Is that the most popular origin? Let's see. Yep, that is. I guess it was bound. So I got Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune, and then I got a Mars, which I'm fucking stoked on. It's pretty sweet. I know, right? It's pretty sweet. I think like from aesthetics and the fact it has that like God thing, the the flowers that almost like the chain. I think that's gonna be pretty sweet. And it doesn't hurt to have these tokens because I have a feeling the sidekicks are going to change depending on the planet, right? I really wanted a Mercury, of course, but it is what it is. Earth would be nice, but I'm going to be holding 2 of those, when you need to hold one of each token. So I'll be holding 2 sets. Hopefully should get some Earth tokens out of that. I will be burning a Punk's comic for a moon. So... I'm all in on this one, man. They've just done something so amazing, and I cannot wait to talk with all the founders. I have a feeling two of the 3 viewers are founders. Can't wait to talk here. We're going to be talking here in less than 2 hours. So hop on that Discord. If you're unaware and you're a founder, you have a founders tag in the Discord. Please, every Wednesday moving forward, I'm going to be hopping in there 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, just to give everybody an update. Everybody who's invested and believed in the project, and at the end of the day, this is a DAO moving forward. If you were unaware, Monkey Bytes is pivoting into what's called the MBTMD, which is going to be the Monkey Bytes Miners DAO, which is going to play a little off of how Punk's Comics structured their NFT, whereas it's a cover. I would prefer to do a collaborative approach, although I wouldn't be opposed to one artist. I do have a vision. So if you're watching this, I will most likely clip this. I was going to clip another one tomorrow after all these announcements and after the chat with the founders. But we're looking for a few creatives, and we want to spotlight some creatives who aren't necessarily in the industry, or maybe just a foot in the door, but they haven't really given that push. You know what I mean? We want to help push, not push forcefully, but give you all the tools and any motivation you need to move forward. We're happy to have you aboard if your talent fits, the skill sets we're looking for. So appreciate you tuning in. I think we're going to call it an episode because I'm hungry. I have to finish that 3rd announcement. It's just fine tuning some creative. So I think we're going to call it an episode. Thanks for tuning in. Go ahead and check Jeremy's live stream. He's doing a super stream like another 2 hours. So hopefully it doesn't conflict with the Founders Jam. I guess hop on. Let me know if you guys want to push it back. But I really like 7 p.m. because it's not too late for everybody on the East Coast. And if we just do that weekly, and you don't have to make every episode, but I encourage you to make as many of them as you can because the guidance moving forward, it's going to depend on your input because I want everybody to be happy here. And I'm very excited for this little announcement for the founders. So thanks for tuning in. It's been another episode of BitmonkeyTV Whimsical Wing It Wednesday, episode number 38. My name is Marcelo.